get that footing and just keep the momentum in his favor. Otherwise, the great Gonzales can very well, combo and toss around Frozen as much as he needs to.
Yeah, but I mean, grabbing Corrin is actually such a hard task. And Ness, I don't think he's just not fast enough to punish that side B. I mean, very few characters are, but Ness in particular getting caught in this juggle combo immediately.
Yeah, Dragon Lunge movement from Frozen, we're very familiar with seeing how well he can maneuver himself utilizing that side B, but you never really get a chance to see how safe it makes a lot of his approach and retreat options, especially against a character that's really fishing for you on the ground. A lot of Ness's stronger combos start when he's on the ground, and even though he could combo break with Fair and Nair very well, he can't really get anything started on his own terms without, giving Frozen a little bit of an issue.
Wow, I think he just managed to recover there with his up B snapping to the ledge. I also want to quickly talk about recent history with these two players, which is that both of them did phenomenally at Full Royal Flush.
Absolutely. Great Gonzales taking home 5th, and
wow.
Frozen walking home with 9th. Both excellent wins under their belt along the way.
Yeah, no, what was it? Frozen took out Anti and Mars, and who did Great Gonzales? Great Gonzales beat a lot of people. He was playing amazing that day.
I know notably he did take out Mr. E. So, depending on the results of this match, we could see a grudge match between the two of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, but that insta-pin, finally sealing it. Ness with that much rage is scary, but Corrin just has so many kill options at her disposal that it doesn't really, it doesn't matter that much. Back throw not going to do it, but puts him off stage.
And I like what Gonz is doing right now. He's trying to fish for the PK Thunder 1, just so he could snipe out Frozen's recovery, extend any type of ledge play. But Frozen mixing up his angles on Dragon Ascent, and just in general not being threatened too badly, has been helping him out. Gonz cleans things up with an up air before getting too much damage tacked on, and the platforms go away.
Yeah, and so now we're left with the FD variant, which means these two players are going to be doing a lot of footsies right now. Ooh. But once again, we saw just the amount of when Corrin gets a single hit in neutral, you saw just how much Frozen is able to convert with it, which I think is definitely a real. It's a lot harder for Great Gonzales, but right as I say that, he ends up missing the combo because the platform dragged him away from his target at the last second.
It was a very impressive regrab, and he could have extended that combo further had it not been for the unfortunate placing on the platforms. But one way or another, Gonz is doing very well to keep this matchup rather even. That being said, though, Frozen presenting a lot of nairs and a lot of back airs just to invalidate the Great Gonzales' options while he's moving around.
I think that was a bait to try and bait Frozen into countering. Because he went for the up B, and it's like, oh, he's going to hit himself back towards stage. And if Frozen had done that, I think that probably would have been a punish. But he's really smart. And there it is! The down smash at ledge, catching the jump, ending his stock. And we see Great Gonzales, Ness taking game 1 from New York's best Corrin.
Yeah, and a very impressive game 1 at that. You saw how well that Gonz was able to just sort of bunker down, not let Frozen run away too much with it. He understood that the tools presented against him were going to be making things difficult, so he had to just extend his stock as best as he can. And after cleaning things up, he got himself in a situation where he could rack up the damage on his own terms. That's where Ness is able to just run away with ledge play. And that's exactly how we saw game 1 end. Game 2 moving us into Dreamland. How do you feel about this pick?
So Corrin does like the tri-plat layout, and I think that the biggest reason why is because of the ledge play that we saw. This stage in particular, it's really easy for Corrin to do the insta-pin onto the platform when she's on ledge in order to basically just get out of ledge pressure. So that might be part of Frozen's thinking. Also, I feel like Frozen wasn't actually getting that much off of juggles. So, I guess the risk of, giving Ness a few more landing options won't hurt him that much.
Yeah, Frozen recognizes the safety of Ness's ability to land. He has an amazing air dodge that a lot of people have forgotten is honestly one of the best in the game. And even though Lucas has a somewhat similar one, it's just not as good as the original.
I mean, I'm not sure if they are identical or not, but there's some Z-axis shenanigans going on with both of them. Who tries to get the 2-frame on that side B, but Gonzales actually managing to come back, but he's sitting out over 100%, meaning that this is pretty dangerous right now. Goes for that down smash once again, but Frozen is able to keep putting on this pressure.
See, not only does the Z-axis offer a very unique interrupt with the air dodge, but it's active for so long and is able to be repeated so quickly. And very nice PK Thunder control from Gonz, trying to take out Frozen's recovery, but Frozen being able to wait just a tiny bit out of getting hit from the second one so that he can recover himself nicely. And both are sitting at relatively high percentages. One grab could end it from either of these.
Yeah, the pressure right now. I've actually been seeing Gonzales use Nair a lot. That will cost him the stock there. Ends up getting grabbed, but he's been using Nair to beat out Instapin because Instapin actually has like no priority. It's considered a projectile. It's sort of like Bayonetta, like smash attacks and Olimar aerials, and that like any hitbox will beat it out. And Ness's Nair seems to be just like it lasts long enough that we've seen him beat it out with it a couple times. So that's actually been really smart there. He definitely is familiar with this matchup.
Absolutely. You know, Corrin being a popular counter pick into Ness, and the few Ness players that are left have to dedicate a lot of their efforts to optimizing their character's play, and it was a really clean auto-cancel the down air so that he can get that grab, and now just playing with Frozen off stage as best as he can. A lot of people are more familiar with that up air, the mobile plumber's head that just has so much knockback and damage behind it. But you bring up a good point with his Nair as well. His Nair is incredibly quick, damage is decent, and the knockback
range
is very safe. It's, in general, a very safe move. We're more accustomed to, you know, making fun of Ness and Ness players because of the crutch behind what back throw offers, but I feel like a lot of Ness's strengths, and especially in the current meta, lie in his aerial play. Between Nair, the ability to auto-cancel down air so well, back air.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think have we seen a back throw kill actually yet this set? I'm unsure. It's like most of his kills have been with aerials or smash attacks. So, of course, the back throw threat is there. You can tell that the way that Frozen is playing, he's very wary of this throw gameplay, but nonetheless, he's still managing to keep this gap pretty substantial. Like, Gonzales is going to need some type of, like, rage shenanigans at this point.
I mean, it's very likely. I don't like that down smash.
He's living.
He is living.
It's so stale. That side B is so stale.
Not is it stale, but, like, this is a big stage. Even with the lowered ceiling and being able to shift his hurt boxes very well,
yeah.
Ness can potentially live a long time. And while Gonz hasn't done a good job on building up damage, he's going to have to figure out a new game plan as we move right into Game 3. Quick up throw just to end things off.
And that was so smart of Frozen. We mentioned before how he was using that neutral air to beat out the side B. Frozen goes in there, goes for that power shield mix-up, manages to get it, and then he just goes in, and before Ness can even land, he grabs him and up throws him. So really smart between both players, and we now have even set 1-1. We're going to be seeing FD for Game 3. What are your feelings on the stage pick?
I really like this stage pick for Gonz. We often see the strengths of Frozen as a player based on how many options he has to him as far as movement. He's such an incredible player based on how he could just manage spacing, both from his own control and to how he limits his opponents. Final Destination has very few, built-in tools to inhibit that kind of play style. I mentioned earlier that it's very heavily oriented towards ledge play and juggling. So while Frozen's, of course, familiar with that kind of play, it's not his strongest. Meanwhile, that's something where Ness can really benefit from, I would say, if he's given any room to take advantage of all this space.
Yeah, so the other thing about FD is that FD, I've always kind of treated it as like the raw neutral stage. It's the sort of stage where like you really do see a lot more like footsies play between two players. And even right now you see it, like Frozen just had such a command of neutral, finally giving it up, and you almost cost him the stock from that one missed opportunity, but he manages to hang on here, taking only about 40%. Gonzales dying from the up air. That's definitely FD. You know, Gordon can get those juggles. Doesn't really have anywhere to. Oh, what? Oh,
he did it. The absolute madman just sat there and took it. PK Thunder closing things out, and once again, for a repeat performance of the last game situation.
You know what it was? Frozen knew that we wanted a last stock situation. He was like, I got to give the people what they want.
Everyone's catching a good show tonight.
Yeah, okay, the string of forward airs. He can try to continue the juggle situation, but Ness air dodge managing to get him out of it. Ooh, but he reads the roll behind and punishes with that insta-pin. Oh, amazing. So smart using that side B, but he gets a little bit greedy and he ends up getting punished for it for doing it a second time. Oh, nice. Air dodging into the ground to avoid that that side B kick.
Now notice how Frozen constantly moves himself and Gonz towards the ledges. He doesn't want to move him inwards nor from one side of the stage to the other. He's trying to set up for these safer instances so he either has all of Final Destination to run away from, or he has himself a safe ledge situation so he could try and build up more damage and potentially end the stock on Gonz. I like it. It's very safe, minimalistic play. It's very core to the whole Frozen package deal when you see him play.
Absolutely, and now Gonz is sitting here at 139% with so many kill opportunities for Frozen. He has so many options at his disposal. Will he be able to before, you know, you don't want to give Ness so much rage, like within like 10%, back throw at the ledge will kill. If not now,
the way that we're looking at things, it's a matter on if...
See, he wanted it. That would have been it.
A collective gasp fills the venue as everyone sees the whiffed pivot grab at the very ledge at these percentages. It could have been it.
Oh, no way, it's not going to be it.
It's not going to be it just yet.
Oh, but he goes way out there. He gets it.
He's going deep.
He gets it.
He recovers, but Frozen is not able to. The great Gonzales takes it over Frozen 2-1. New Jersey's finest champion taking out one of our greatest here in the city. Just like that.